Hello and welcome to the third opening video for Magic the Gathering at JAF Comics. This time we're going to be doing another Play Booster box for Edge of Eternities. Another 30 packs that we're going to be opening up for you today. 2 boxes down, we've got some great hits. That'll mean some great singles available in store or online. Links are in the description for those. As we get into box number 3 of 4 of the Play Boosters, we're going to have another one coming out. Be sure to check those out if you're interested, see what's available. And while you're here, thanks for hanging with us as we open some very cool Magic cards set in space. We're not going to be doing too much of an overview of most of the cards. We've seen a lot of the commons and uncommons in the earlier videos, especially video 1. You can get a lot of details on the mechanics if you're a new player. If you're a more experienced player and you just want to sit back and relax, watch some cards being opened, get excited for the big hits with us, that's what we're here for these videos. Short, sweet, to the point. And wow, Pinnacle Star Cage into Pinnacle Star Cage. That's 2 packs down, a duplicate rare already. It happens, but maybe that's a sign of good things to come for the box. Maybe we'll get dual Tezzerets, dual Uthros, dual Evendo. Who knows? Ooh, Bioengineered Future. ETBs create a lander whenever, or each creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 for each land that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Very nice. Stuff like Scute Swarm. Once you get a bunch of lands down, just become absolutely massive with that. Very cool. We've got ourselves... Ooh, I saw the Uthros, but this is just the scan ship for it, not the actual land itself. Oh, we do have a Cosmic Grand Zenith. Great little card. Now the Quarry Steelcutter's banned. Cast your second spell, choose 1. Get 2 1/1s, or put a +1/+1 on each creature you control. For a 3-drop 2/4, that's pretty solid effects. Absolutely. Next up, Command Bridge. If it didn't enter tap, then you didn't have to tap something else down. Might be usable. On a Creeping Tar Pit. We got ourselves another man land out of the Stellar Sights. Definitely not a huge hit, but I mean, they definitely didn't skimp on the art, even if the card itself doesn't do a ton. That is really sick looking. And we got ourselves a Diadrene Synthesis Amalgam. Enters with +1/+1 counter on it equal to the mana to cast it, so it even includes the green and white plus the X. And then whenever you attack, you can remove a +1/+1 from each of up to 2 creatures you control. If you do, you draw a card, make 2/2. Oh, and the lovely little planes. These are lovely. I need to build a mono white deck just to include probably like 30 of those planes because they are beautiful. There is like the dog planes as well that's up there, but for full arts we don't have that many options yet. That's probably one of the bigger ones. But this is a Sunstar Chaplain. Not too great. Lets you remove a +1/+1 counter from a creature you control. Tap an artifact your creature down, +2 mana, and we can give your end step. If you control 2 or more tap creatures, you put a +1/+1 on a target creature. And it's a 2-drop that's a 3/2. In limited, sure, it'll be great, but outside of that, for constructed, I can't speak for standard too much, but I don't see that being insane unless the meta shifts in standard to huge creatures that you really need to tap down. And I guess maybe that could do something into station effects, but we'll see. We have a Starfield Vocalist, triggered abilities of ETBs, triggering an additional time. Has Warp for 2, or it's 4 to cast it, and it's a 3/4. Awesome little card that I know I'm fitting into a number of my commander decks, just for the ETBs. Ooh, we did see a little peek at something at the back there that seemed like it was maybe a legendary station, possibly. We have a Mystifying Maze, though, before that. Ooh, and that art is menacing. See if we can get that little red area to really focus up for us. Yeah. Taps for colorless, doesn't enter tapped. 4 and tapped to exile target attacking creature and opponent controls. Beginning of the next end step, returns to the battlefield. Tapped. Yeah, I mean, it's all little effects. Same with this, we got Terra Symbiosis. +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. Draw that many cards, only once a turn. I don't know how I feel about the art on this one. It's very, very stylized, but the effect itself, I definitely like it. Ooh, and we got ourselves the full art mountain in non-foil. They are available in foil in these. I did also kind of notice, I think we don't really have art cards in the play boosters for now, which is an interesting change. I don't know that a ton of people have been looking at the art cards and really wanting them, but we do have a Pain for All. Enchant Creature. I think we got this in box 2 as well, so check out that video. But whenever Enchanted Creatures dealt combat or dealt any damage, not just combat damage, it deals that much damage to each opponent. I can see this definitely going into like a Blasphemous Act and dealing 13 to your opponents. That's not necessarily Magical Dreamland, but you know, a very solid effect that you could get with it, and especially mono red decks, getting that much damage out, 39 damage in a commander game, off just putting a 3-drop aura and probably just paying the 1. So 4 mana to deal a net 39 to your opponents. Really sick. And not really sick is Nova Hellkites. I mean, it's flying in haste, and so 4 or 5. Maybe in limited this is fine, but when it needs to be, it deals 1 damage to target creature and opponent controls. If it was anything else for the ETB, I'd be more excited about it, but it just seems really lackluster. I don't know. Time will tell, but a 5-drop 4/5 flying haste that deals 1. Not for me. Let's see here. We've got Hard Light Containment, Enchants and Artifacts. When it needs to be easy, exile target creature and opponent controls until this aura leaves, and then the enchanted permanent has word 1. Little kind of Banishing Light type thing, but you need an artifact to put that on, and it's only 1 mana. I could see it doing some work. We got ourselves, ooh, a Grove of the Burn Willows. I know it looks like it says kind of Born Willows, but that is definitely a U. It enters untapped, gets either colorless or a red or a green, and each opponent gains a life. I didn't know this card really existed before we saw spoilers for this, and I have a couple Gruul decks that could probably use the effects. Having your opponents gain a life, not the biggest deal for Commander at least. Maybe it's a little something for other formats, but this is something special here. Starwinder, the first one that we pulled, a 7-drop, 7/7. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards, and has Warp 4. So if this guy hits at 7/7, deals 7 combat damage to a player, you're going to draw 7 cards. I mean, if you already have a board built up, you warp it out, swing with maybe 15 power, draw 15 for 4. That's going to see some play. 100%. I know the 7 mana to get it around to stick around is going to be a little tougher, but almost a kind of cantrip. I could see that being a very nice little effect in a lot of decks. Got, ooh, no, that's our, there it is. Emissary Escort, yeah, I'm coming for it. I think we even had this in box 2 as well. Just gets +X/+O, where X is the greatest mana value of among other artifacts you control. I mean, it's a 0/4. For 2, like, I guess it could be like a 3/4 for 2 without like a ton of work. And maybe that's good enough in limited, but as a rare for constructed, it's just going in the bulk. Ooh, this is not going in the bulk though. This is a uncommon Umbral Collar Zealot. It's a 2-drop 3/2. Sack another creature or artifact to surveil 1. Yes, please. Instant speed sack outlet. I think this is going to be better than Viscera Seer. And probably a lot of the other instant speed sack outlets other than like your Ashnod's Altar, Phyrexian Altar. But that is definitely a card to look out for, and it's an uncommon. So That's going in a lot. And probably goes in decks like this. Requiem Monolith. Until end of turn, this target creature gets... Whenever this creature deals damage, draw that many cards, lose that much life. And then you can have it deal 1 damage to it. Black has a lot of ways to do more card draw now. Surveils. Lots of graveyard stuff. This set does support black very nicely in a lot of ways with your Sothera, the Super Void, your Alpha Rails. Black's been definitely getting some pumps lately. We have Terminal Velocity. This is not the one that's the XX make copies of things, but this is you can put an artifact or creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, gains haste. When it leaves the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its mana value to each creature, and beginning of your end step, sack the permanent. Yeah, that's one way to board wipe for sure. Ooh, and we got ourselves a forest. At 6 mana at sorcery speed, though, for that terminal velocity to do all that, it's maybe best if you have something that'll get you your ETB. But I don't think it's like a must-include staple for red decks at this point. But there's some that will take big advantage of it. This card, though, Tanuk, is probably one of the top 10 or so cards value-wise. We got a 4-mana 3/5, already pretty solid. Other creatures you control have haste, and more importantly, artifact creatures and red creature cards in your hand have warp, 2 and a red. So, say you put this in an Eldrazi deck that can run red, you're dumping out a warped Eldrazi to get the cast trigger and some ETBs for 3 mana. That's, well, I guess it would have to be an artifact Eldrazi, which I don't know that there are a ton of. There was ways to make that happen. But also red creatures, being able to dump out, say, like an Atali, Primal Storm, just for free, essentially. Plus they have haste. I mean, 3 is essentially free when you're looking at gigantic mana. So that's a really good one to nook there. Got a relic. Got the rescue skiff up and an extinguisher battleship. I do like this for colorless decks. Gives you a little 4 damage to each creature when it ETBs. Plus you're destroying a non-creature permanent for 8. And then if you have your 5+ to station, you get a flying trample 10/10. That's it's gonna be playable in some colorless decks for sure. I don't know that every deck will run it because I think they mana valued it pretty well. But who knows? Ooh, we got ourselves a Bonder's Enclave. Nice little art there. Some shining stars. Some like weird fish looking things maybe. And you know, paying 3 to tap and draw a card for essentially 4 mana because you're losing the mana from the land. And only if you have a creature with power 4 or greater. Not the best, but again, there'll be decks that run it. Oh, but we got Cosmogoyf. I didn't know this was is this a reprint, Cosmogoyf? Or is this fully new? Let me see if we can find it quick. Yeah, Cosmogoyf is a new Lurgoyf, not Tarmogoyf, but a new Lurgoyf. Creature's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is that number +1. Interesting. Alert. Cosmogoyf. Recommended action. Run. The PSS Eric's shipboard computer. Final transmission. That's terrifying. Nice though. And that is in colors for stuff like, I think it was what, Disa is the most recent precon deck commander that cares about the Lurgoyfs. So it's nice having it in colors for that for sure. And we got ourselves a Rust Harvester. Menace, 2 tap exile an artifact from your graveyard. +1/+1 on this creature, and it deals damage equal to its power to any target. For a 1-drop, if you can get this pumped up quite a bit, and you'll definitely have a lot of artifacts in grave, I could see this being something for constructed even. So you got yourselves like a Blackblade Reforge, and you got 10 lands out or something. It's an 11/11. You put the first +1/+1 counter on. You get to deal 12 damage for 2 mana to any target. Ooh. Got ourselves, first and foremost, a Shockland, Sacred Foundry, Mountain Plains. Always love to see Shockland reprints. But then we have another land with some very wild art. Taps for colorless, 2 and a tap to tap X untapped artifacts of control. Target creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, only as a sorcery. Really wish they didn't put that on there, because being able to do it as a combat trick would be great, but I guess having it on the attacking creature beforehand so you can properly block is nice, but then also 5 and tap to create a 2/2. 6 mana for a 2/2 essentially is certainly too much. But I could see it for that first effect, possibly. A nice little double rare pack there, with our Shockland and a new land. Got ourselves a Warmaker Gunship. When it ETBs, it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts it controls a target creature and opponent controls. And then you station it for 6+. It's a flying 4/3 for 3. Very nice. Ooh, a Frenzy Bailoff behind it too. Probably even better. Can't be countered. Trample Haste. 2 green. Creature spells you control can't be countered. And combat damage can't be prevented. So all your fog effects can get put right out the window for that one. Damage will happen. The Bailoff will make it so. Ooh, we got a little something peeking out. Maybe that's something nice. We have... Ooh! I think we even called that earlier in this video. The Dominion Bracelets. You've seen Mindslaver. Now see it for 3 mana. It's possible, at least. 2 and a 1 for equip. The equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has 15. That'll cost X less, where X is its power to a creature. Exile the Dominion Bracelet. You control target opponent during their next turn. Only as a sorcery. Yeah. Great little... Oh, whoa, a great little pack, I should say. I was going to say a great little hit, but we have our first Uthros Titanic God Core, and it's in foil. It's not a Surge foil, I believe, or not a rather Galaxy foil. Those are collector booster only, so maybe we'll see one of those out of our 5th video, which will be a collector booster box here on Draft Comics YouTube channel. But we do have Uthros. Land enters tapped. You can tap for either just a blue, or once you station at 12+, you have to pay a blue, but you get Tolarian Academy. Tap to add a blue for each artifact you control. Tolarian Academy is banned in formats like Commander, so there's a very good reason that people are very excited to see Uthros get printed. A semi-functional, although somewhat hard to enable reprint is pretty nice. And a foil one at that. We have the Estelia Reclaimer. Nothing too crazy. Either gets a 3-drop or a 5-drop back from your graveyard. Can't be a creature, can't be a land. Meh. A little bit of a letdown of a card, but I'm sure it does work in a number of decks. It just thinks that you can't blink it to get that, because it has to be equal to the mana spent to cast it. Oh, but we got a Singularity Rupture. Destroys all creatures, then any number of target players each mill half their library, rounded down. Good thing for mill decks, and it's a 5-drop, or a 6-drop rather, in Dimir, which doesn't have a ton of necessarily board wipes on the blue side of things, but I guess that's where the mill comes in. But it's like it's got a regular mono black board wipe staple to it. And we got a Gene Morphe Mongo. This time without the legendary crown on this art. Landfall makes a target creature have base power toughness 3/3, or if you have 6 more lands, a 6/6 instead. The lovely little island that looks like our little snowflake there. Very nice. Around about 5 packs left in this box from the looks of things. And honestly, I think we got some great hits so far. The only things left maybe could be... I mean, Lightstall Inquisitor's fine for a little bit here and there, but it's not a huge hit. Maybe we could get ourselves an Urza, or not an Urza, a Tezzeret. The guy just up here on the box. Or also maybe a Sothera. Maybe one of the other green cards, like Ouroboros, that puts +1/+1s on some stuff. That would be nice too. Ooh, I thought that was going to be so there for a second. It's not. It is the mono black planet, which is very neat. Sasur Secundi, Void Altar. Enters tapped, taps for a black, station 12+, just like Earth Roast that we saw earlier. You can pay 2, tap, pay 2 life, sack a creature. Draw cards equal to the sack creature's power. Only use a sorcery. Better than the red one. Not sure if it's better than the white one, but it's probably on par. And definitely worse than the other two that are essentially Tolarian Academy and Gaia's Cradle in blue and green, respectively. But hey, we'll take powerful cards in our land slots for sure. Nice. Ooh, a Stomping Ground. Our second shock land of the box, I believe. I think our third Zoo Ifrit in... maybe it was this box, or maybe it was the last one. We had 2. Quite a few of those, though, if anyone needs them. They'll be available online, in-store, Jeff Comics in Bethlehem, jeffcomics.com, or at jeffcomics.tcgplayerpro.com. Links are in the description for the online stores to see what we've got. Come on in, play some Magic in either the pre-releases, any of the sealed events that are after release, or even just to play some Commander. Usually on Wednesdays we get a huge turnout. That's a big one. If it's your first time, don't worry. Come on in to play. Let us know that you saw the video and that's what got you in here. And that'll help us know to keep making more of these. Definitely supporting your local game store. Getting some Watery Graves. Our third shock land for the box. Very impressive. Ooh, the Devastating Onslaught and a Loading Zone. That's a outstanding pack to end this box on. We got the Watery Grave, which we went over. The Loading Zone, and I'll save the last for best. The Loading Zone gives you your Branching Evolution type effect of put counters on creature, spacecraft, or planets, instead put twice as many instead. But for the CDH players out there, Devastating Onslaught, that's a chunky. Or actually, realistically, that's half of X chunkies, because you make X tokens that are copies of target artifact or creature you control. Those tokens gain haste until end of turn. Sack them at the beginning of the next end step. There's a lot of stuff in red that you can make copies of that have powerful ETBs. It's Holly or Chunky being one of them. And with that, I've been Dan Vega for the Mega Money quiz. I haven't really been. That's been Jeff Comics, though, for you. Thanks for sticking around with us. We have, I believe, one more Play Booster Box video for you, as well as one Collector Booster Box video that'll be coming to you soon. Subscribe, give us a like, leave some comments down below to let us know what you'd like to see for any of the TCGs that Jeff Comics has to offer. Thanks for this one, and we'll see you in the next one.